And if you're seated in the chair, I'm going to invite you to scoot forward onto the edge of the chair so the spine has a little verticality. And as we breathe, the invitation is always to bring a little smile to the face. Yogananda says smiling brings the prana, the life force, into the body. And the crows in the background concur. Arriving in that place where there's nothing to do, just to be present in this moment. Gentle, thorough breath. Releasing your hands, just shake that out. We're going to come to standing. So rise on up. If you can do it without pressing into the chair or the legs, do that. Otherwise, we're coming to standing. I'm going to ask you, if balance is an issue, to bring a chair next to you. We're going to be doing some movement that might require support and extra balance. We begin by taking our feet wide. So instead of stacking our joints like we do, we're going to take our feet a little wider than our pelvis so we have a nice solid base here. And then we're going to dig our toes into the mat and watch how the body leans forward a little bit. And then we relax, and now we bring our toes back into flexion. So we're standing on the ball mounds of our feet, and our body goes back. We're going to do this now back and forth. So we come forward, and we grab the earth, the mat with our toes. And then we release and relax as we lift our toes, engaging the leg muscles. This time when we go forward, keep the heart lifted. This time when we go back, keep the heart lifted and the belly engaged. So this is Pada Bandha. We're going back and forth. We're feeling the strength and the stability of our body as we rock and wake our toes up. Wake the soles of our feet up. And now let's just rock a little bit right and left. So we're coming onto the inner edge of one foot and the outer edge of the opposite. So we're saying hello to the ankles and the feet. And we travel slowly through this posture to see if we can connect with the whole foot as we move. All good. And now we're going to bring it to a pause. So we still have our legs, our feet wide. We have that nice tripod. And we're going to rise up into releve now. This is where the chair might be handy. We're going to slowly press into the big toe mound of each foot as we lift our heels off of the floor. Sometimes it helps to have arms wide, sometimes just touching the chair. You're going to find a wobble here, probably. Most of us will wobble. See if we can allow ourselves to be in the wobble while pressing into the feet. Feel all the muscles in the legs and feel the heart lift. And then slowly lower the heels and the arms. Coming back into Pada Bandha, we're drawing the toes back toward the knees again. So we're on the ball mounds of the feet and the toes are in flexion. And now we're going to relax the feet as we come back into releve, press into the ball mound of the foot. Find that big toe, stabilize this posture, feel the strength building in the legs. Do what you need to experience a sense of balance here. See if you can find a way to make the wobble integrated so that it stops. And then we release and we come back to Pada Bandha. We're bringing those toes back to our knees. Are you breathing here? Because a lot of times when we're doing balances, we stop breathing, and guess what? That doesn't necessarily help for rising back up into a releve. Hand can be on the chair, or maybe by now you're trusting that you can pause here and hold it and breathe. Strong legs. See if you can engage the quadricep muscles, those thigh muscles. Yeah, and then we relax. Sweeping the arms up. We fold just to the knees or the shins. Breathing in, the arms float back up. We fold to the shins again. Back up. And we come to rest in mountain. Pause here. You might notice a little vitality moving in the body as we move to those big muscles. So when we work the leg muscles and the gluteal muscles, wow, that really gets the body energized. You might want to put your hand on it here. I'm going to turn sideways to see this. You don't need to, but we're going to take the right foot, turn the toes under. This is stretching the front. So, excuse me, turn the top of the foot down against the mat. Bend the opposite knee if you want a little deeper stretch. We're opening the front of the ankle. Yeah, anyone notice that intensely besides me? Wave at me if you're noticing that. Hello. And then we relax, pause for a moment, noticing the difference between the sides of the body. You might feel a little lopsided. Let's switch sides. So the top of the foot comes toward the mat. Bend the opposite knee as much as you'd like or not at all. It's going to deepen that stretch. And then we come back to standing and we pause. We're going to take our feet wide again. So maybe as wide as a mat or maybe not quite. I'll turn sideways. We're going to spread our shoulder blades. So we draw the shoulders forward and we're unlocking this part of the back here. So pause here, maybe like you're holding something. Breathe. And then slowly begin to lift the shoulders up to the ears. And then we rotate back and down, drawing the shoulder blades together. The heart lifts, the chin lifts. We're in a little bit of an anterior tilt here, pelvis forward. And then we relax and release the shoulders down toward the waist. We'll do that again. Draw the shoulders forward. Then they travel up. Then they come back, shoulder blades together, and then we melt that action down the back. Again, we're breathing. Remember the breath here. Shoulder blades come together. or expand, excuse me, spread the shoulder blades. Lift the shoulders to the ears and slide the shoulder blades together. And then we pause. Let's take our hands into our back pocket here, our pretend back pocket, so low back or on the glutes, and we press the pelvis forward here. Bring the left side of the pelvis forward, soft bend in the knee, turn the torso, look over the opposite shoulder. Come back to center. Now the right side of the pelvis begins the twist, which turns the torso, which turns the head. And then we come back to center. Shake it out. We're going to take one shoulder at a time now. We're going to do internal and external rotations with the shoulder. So our feet again are wide, right? Got a nice base here. Maybe bounce a little bit in your base so that the knees are soft. Remember to keep the knees soft. We don't want to lock them out. And then we're going to keep our hips facing forward. So we're not going to twist our pelvis here. We're going to twist from the rib cage. So put your hands on the rib cage to start with and just see what it's like to move from the rib cage without moving the pelvis too much. Now we're going to pause. And now we're going to take that right arm and we're going to sweep it in front of the body. But remember, the pelvis stays put. We're working the upper back. And then we bring it back across the body. Switch sides. Keep the pelvis forward as we flow right and left. You might notice that the pelvis really wants to turn. That's a good body mechanic. But here, we're trying to find how can we allow ourselves to just work that upper back instead of using the pelvis, which makes it a lot easier. And then we're going to pause when we're coming back from the left side. We stop here. Keeping the feet wide again, and shake or bounce at any time if you feel the need to. We're going to keep the feet wide here and take it into a cat-cow action. So we draw the shoulders forward. That's the out breath. That's a cat. And then the in breath, we lift the heart. We open the chest, open the heart, lift it up. Find the in breath here. And then on the out breath, bring those hands together again. The in-breath is open and lifted, the heart full, the breath deep. The out-breath coming forward, feeling the middle of the back start to soften. Start to say, oh, thank you, it's been so long. We're going back and forth here. Nice softness in the knees. And then we're going to pause. Our feet are still wide. Rising with the left hand, we reach and we let the right hand come toward the floor as we tip to the right side. See if we can lift through the rib cage and make space between the rib cage and the waist. So, and the pelvis. So we're not so much tipping as we are reaching so that we can feel the musculature in the side body. And then the hand floats down. Switch sides. We reach now with the right hand. Remember, those fingers are alive. The left hand extends. And we're just taking a gentle stretch, a deep stretch into the side body. Feel that rib cage, breathe there. And then release. Again, we're going to have our feet wide as we take our pelvis forward. Hands on the low back or in the back pockets. We take a twist to one side. And we come back to center and we twist to the other side. And come back to center. And we pause here in mountain. So we do a quick body scan. So notice your feet as they rest on the floor. Feel the energy in the legs, the pelvis, the heart, the ribs, the shoulder blades. Coming forward again and back, and forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And then we relax. Bringing our attention to the left hand, we're going to lead with the wrist. Those feet are wide. The knees are soft. We're leading with the wrist, so the fingers are pointing down. We bring the hand up just to the point at which there's a little constriction in the shoulder. It's right about here. And then we're going to breathe in to lift the heart, press through the feet to lift the arm. And then we relax down. We're going to do that again. Breathe in and deepen that breath to lift the torso, to lift the arm, and look at that hand. Relax and release. One more time. Switching sides. Feet are still wide. We're leading with the wrist. Coming up, pausing when it's tight, and then pressing into the floor to lift the heart, and then relax. Breathe in, press and lift, and glide back down. One more time, pressing into the floor, lifting, lifting. Oh, so fun. Come back to center and we'll go back to the first side. This time we're going to do that lift and we're just going to do a smooth, elegant lift right from the start, all the way up through the body. And then we release the hand and we float it back behind us, stopping at the point where our body naturally stops. Come forward again. Keep that breath moving, find that big lift with the heart, and release, and follow with your eyes the hand as it goes back. And then we come back. One more time, we're going to lift. And then we release. We follow the hand with the eyes, and then we release that hand down. And we switch sides. So the feet are still wide. Do a little bounce here. And then we're going to lift. We're going to press into the feet. We're going to keep the breath moving. The heart lifts. And we release. And it goes behind. And maybe we follow the hand with our eyes. Breathing in, we come up and forward, using the whole body to lift the arm. And relax. And release to the back. And only go as high as your body allows when you're reaching behind. There's no destination here. Breathe to lift. And relax. And then we come back to neutral. Shake it out. You might notice that while we're working the upper body, the lower body's been very busy also. Oh. So coming back to a bit of a wide stance. Find your mountain. Oh, time went so fast today. We're going to float both arms up. Feet are wide again. We're going to rotate the shoulders forward. So we're doing shoulder, then the elbows come forward, then the wrists, and then the hands. So we're flipped upside down. We're going to do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And to come out of this, we rotate the shoulders back first. So shoulder, elbow, wrist, and hands. Sweeping the arms up. Hands come to heart center. Hinge forward, flat back, straight legs. Come with it to bring the torso just parallel to the floor. And then bending the knees slightly, release the hands, come back up through chair. We're coming on up to standing. And we'll find our way back to our chairs. 30 minutes goes fast. We're going to pause here in Shavasana. Maybe forward on your chair if you'd like to recline on the floor, do that. And just notice how you feel. A little better, a little worse, the same. Just noticing, just observing, and allowing yourself to go, oh yeah, I see. Today's reading is from John Lewis. So I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love guide you. John Lewis. We open our arms wide and we gather all the blessings that already exist, and we draw them in appreciation, gratitude, and deep love into our hearts. And together we all say, Namaste.